Yeah, it's me again. Back here in the garage, getting ready to work on the old Honda CB650. And we're working on it again because we have yet another oil leak, which I'm sure you're excited to hear. So today, we'll be replacing the head gasket, which hopefully will fix the leak, because if it doesn't, that's it. I'm not working on this thing anymore. Nah, just kidding. I love working on this thing. Now, my overlord ChatGPT says I could probably just retorque the head bolts and we'd probably be okay.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
But I'm not going to risk it, so we are going to remove the head, put the new gasket on. I have the gasket and it just makes sense. Tanks off, seats off, and now we got to pull the exhaust off. Now the trick is going to be to get this off without dropping it and dinging it all up, which sounds like something I would do. Didn't I just say I didn't want to do that? Investigation looks good, no damage. Next we gotta do is pop off the carburetors. So kind of interesting now that I'm looking at these rubber connectors that the two outside ones are both ripped. Actually, I take that back. 3 of the 4 are ripped, so definitely getting new ones. Yeah, the next thing I want to do is pop the side cover off out over there, get the engine so there's no load pushing up into the springs, which will cause pressure on the valve cover or head cover, whatever Honda calls it. And that way when we loosen up the bolts, it won't like spring up. The last time I did this, I forgot to put this cover on and started the bike and oil spilled everywhere. You'll see. You see what I mean? Not good. So after I get the engine in the right orientation, I will put the cover back on immediately. And while I'm thinking about it, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, please share this. We are super close to getting monetized. So please spread the word and let's grow this channel. I think that'll work. The gasket that's on here is super brittle and pretty junky, so we're gonna need to replace that for sure. All right, sorry to all you guy that hates when I raw dog it with the blade, but it gots to happen. Engine's where I want it. Now we're going to start taking all these bolts off the valve cover or head cover or whatever it's called. I'm going to do it in kind of a crisscrossy in to out pattern, which I think is what Honda wants you to do, so I will oblige. I'm kind of just guessing, which, you know, is kind of what I do best. The next thing to do, I think, is loosen up the cam chain tensioner, which I think are these guys here. All right, I think the next step is to take, I guess, would be the cam sprocket off. I watched like half of a video of a guy doing this on a bike that wasn't this exact bike, and I only watched half the video, so I'm pretty much an expert at this point. So we're just gonna dive right in. But I think these guys got to come out to get the chain off. I hope. Good morning. Yes, it is the next day. You know, I was sitting out here last night thinking to myself, okay, Dave, you're about to tear into the internals of this engine and you really don't know what you're doing. And this is often where you might make matters worse. So I thought I'll stop what I was doing, educate myself on exactly how to tear this thing apart and put it back together, more importantly, and we'll go from there. So that's what I did this morning. I spent a lot of time looking at the service manual, which I found online. So I have a crystal clear-ish idea of what I should be doing now. So now we can attack it with confidence. I think you're supposed to turn that over by hand, but I'm not most people, so I cheated. Hopefully it doesn't ruin anything. Cam's out, chain secure. Now we got to break loose those head bolts and pull this thing off. So that's interesting. That one was extremely loose. So maybe a retorque is all this thing needs, but we're already this far. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw the new head gasket on. Yeah, something does not feel right with those two frontmost bolts. One was extremely loose and the other just feels weird coming out. Makes me nervous. These two guys right here. Something's afoot. Okay, got the spark plugs out, got all the head bolts loosened, and all the way backed out, so moment of truth. Let us investigate, shall we? So this is the side where I thought the head gasket was damaged, because right around here is where I saw the bubbling and gurgling. It's very concerning. When I took the bolts out, as you'll notice, well, the first thing you'll notice is that I need a bigger workbench. Second thing, left side of the engine, right side of the engine. This bolt is not like the others. This is the one that wasn't tight at all. That would be its sister bolt. So is there a piece broken off in there, or is this just a shorter one they threw in there, the last guy that had this head off? Don't know. And then also, check out this. This seal is busted. So it all kind of lines up perfectly. All right, fast forward a few weeks since the last Clippy Poo you just saw, and this is what's been going down in Life with Dave Town in the last few weeks. First, this bolt that we weren't sure it was just short or broken or whatever, under further investigation, definitely broken. So I ordered a few new bolts, they're in, and we can get those put back in. What I'm not sure of is if that broken piece is lodged in the engine or not, so we'll have to investigate that, extract it if it is, and move forward. The second thing I've done in the last 2 weeks is I actually machined the head in my garage, a little DIY machining situation going on, which I made an entire video about, and you can watch that after this one. And it turned out really well. I'm super excited about it. You can see where that scar was is almost essentially gone. It looks really great, and I'm excited to throw this thing back on and see if it actually fixes the leak. But first things first, we gotta see if that bolt is broken off in this motor. There is definitely something down in that hole, so I'm gonna try to send a left turning drill bit down there and see if I can't back it out. The unfortunate reality is there's not enough clearance for me to get my drill in there, so I'm probably gonna have to take this motor out of the frame, which I really didn't wanna do. All right, engine bolts are free. The engine's starting to slide out slightly, which is a good thing. Next thing we got to do is take off this cover here, pop the chain off, and unplug all the wires, and hopefully I can lift this trillion-pound engine out of this frame by myself. Okay, so after unbolting everything and some major wiggling, I got the motor now kind of jacked up in the frame enough to make a clear shot at the hole with the busted bolt in it. So hopefully we can accomplish that without taking the engine out, because that is not a light engine and I don't want to lift it out. So wish me luck. Well, that almost worked. I could feel the left-handed drill bit grabbing the bottom of that bolt, and I could feel it turning, but I just can't get the dang thing out. So now we got to pull the jugs off. Jugs. Okay, cool thing is cylinder walls look really good. No scratches or scuffs or anything in there. And you can see that bolt. That bolt I was trying to drill out, looks like I just barely missed the thread. So I think we're gonna be able just to pop that off, replace this awful gasket. Hopefully nothing fell down in there. That would be really awful. Clean it up and put it back together. What a freaking mess. Well, it turns out this simple head gasket replacement has turned into a major job. So we're gonna save the rest for part 2. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share the channel. Super close to getting monetized. So until next time, peace and love.